Hi, if you're seeing this video, this means that we hit 200 followers on Twitch, and I couldn't be more thankful for that. Thank you to everybody that has helped support me. Whether you be a lurker, a chatter, a viewer, a regular, somebody that stopped in one time just to say hello, somebody that's hosted me, followed me, any form of support, I couldn't be more grateful for it. Thank you. Without you guys, I would not be making this video at this current moment. Now, while this video is coming out for 200 followers as a means of celebration, and as a place to reflect, during this video, we're going to look at the past, see where we've come from, what things that I've changed, how I've progressed as a streamer and a person. We're going to look at things right now, things that I like doing, things that I think could be improved, and then that's going to lead us to looking at the future for my plans for up-and-coming events and things of that nature. But thank you all for sticking with me on this crazy joyride that is Twitch. Now, before we go any further, I think it's time that we get a little bit serious. There we go, now that we're in slightly more appropriate attire, let's delve into the topic at hand. So just so that you guys know, if you see me looking out this way, I'm just checking my notes. I've written down everything so I don't forget anything important that I want to make sure that I cover. So, a focus that you're going to see time and time again throughout this video is interactivity. I'm going to be talking about it a lot, so stick with me on that. It's something that's very important to me, and I think most of you as well. What do I mean when I say interactivity? What I mean is I'd like to increase the interactivity on my channel in a multitude of ways, which I'll get into later in this video. But before we get into all that, first before we can see where we're at now, let's see where we've come. I've jotted down a few things that have been, in my opinion, really meaningful to me as a streamer and just as a person in general, like really meaningful life experiences that I've gotten through streaming. So why don't we talk about those for a minute? One thing that really jumps out, funny that I say the one thing, is an experience that I had more recently than some of the others on this list. It's an interaction that I had between Hatch. Some of you may have seen him around, maybe not. Anyways, I was doing a really off-the-cuff Super Hot stream. I was like, I feel like playing some Super Hot. Why don't I play some Super Hot? Anyways, played it for a bit, got into a really long-winded sort of almost rant about game design. And for whatever reason, one thing led to another as conversations with yourself go. I got talking about a book called The One Thing, The Surprisingly Simple Truth Behind Extraordinary Results. Great book, highly recommend it. Yeah, I was playing Super Hot and I was talking about this book, The One Thing. Because Super Hot's a really good example of it. The One Thing basically teaches how just find your one thing that you think you need to work on and do it until it's perfect. And so I was like, Super Hot's a really good example of this. I talked about the book for a bit. And anyways, Hatch started saying, oh, that book sounds interesting. I was like, yeah, it's a really good book. I highly recommend it. And soon enough, I was like, Hatch said, okay, cool, thanks for the recommendation. I just bought it. And immediately I started to backpedal like, oh no, somebody just spent money on something that I said, let me backpedal for a minute here. It's like, no. I mean, the book's great. I highly recommend the book. It's a very good book, but it gets really repetitive, like really, really repetitive. So just be prepared for that. And I started just pointing out every flaw I could think of with the book. Just because I felt bad that somebody's spending money off of something that I said. And then after that stream, it really, really hit me wow, I actually do have an impact on people's lives. They spent money on something based off of what I said on a live stream. And it was just a very surreal moment for me. I realized my words carry weight. And it was one of the best feelings that I've had thus far. Not because somebody bought something based off what I said, but the fact that I was able to make an impact on somebody's life. Anyways, I told Hetch, if you read it, when you read it, let me know what you think. Just let me know what you think. And about a week or two passed, and I got a message on Twitter with a picture of the book and Hetch saying, you're right, I liked the book, it was good. But anyways, just that surreal feeling of somebody made a decision in their life based off something on my stream was such a huge moment for me, and I will never forget it. Not until the day I die. I will not ever forget that moment. And I want to do more of that. And it's not because somebody bought something, it's because somebody made a decision based on what I said, or I changed somebody's life, even in a small way, such as buying a book. But that's something that I definitely want to have more of, being able to have those meaningful interactions. That's why I live stream, is to have that level of interaction. I hope that I'm able to either make your day brighter, give you something to do, a distraction, anything. Another thing, I don't know how I could talk about interaction without mentioning Caster Die, or Cord. How does it shorthand? Now, most of you, if you've been around my stream, probably know what Caster Die is, but if not, I'll give a brief synopsis. Caster is a networking group of streamers that build meaningful relationships. It's not your follow for follow, host for host type deal. You don't have to promote anybody in the thing. Anyways. I'm biased. I think it's a great community. I'm biased because I'm one of the founders there, but that just joining that community and getting ingrained in it and being a part of it has been such a huge impact for me. It's led me to so many opportunities. I mean, hell, if you know my stream, Circle Jerks. Every Monday and Sunday that I do Void for them, I wouldn't have met any of those guys without Caster Die, so that's been a huge... It's given me a new way to interact with people and meet new people in such a big way. So, yeah, that was... When I found Cord, that was a huge moment for me as well, and I will never forget the Twitter conversations to Discord DMs that I had with Dom when I first found the community. I'll never forget that. That's been another very key factor into where I think I am as a streamer and how I got here. So yeah, huge shout out to Caster Die for that. Also going along the same lines of Cord, another memory that's just burned into my mind is the Guns of Icarus event. Now, a lot of you probably aren't going to remember this. I did this fairly early on when I was streaming. Guns of Icarus, if you don't know, it's a steampunk ship-based game. You and 3 other people pilot a ship, try to blow up other ships. It's a lot of fun. But anyways, so I joined Caster Die and, got ingrained into the community. I said, you know what, I want to organize a multi-stream where a bunch of us just get together and, play games, stream, have fun. So I decided, why not make it Guns of Icarus? I like Guns of Icarus. So I started talking about it, got some interest in it, got enough people to have 2 full ships worth to run the event. And originally it was just going to be, us two full ships, either doing 1v1s or... grouping together and, fighting the internet together on our ships. So that was my initial idea. And then another person that joined into the event, Sippy Cup Games, he sort of took on a co-founder position with this event, which I was totally fine with. It is awesome. He actually got in contact with the developers, which never even crossed my mind to think. It just went right over my head. I would have never thought of it. But Sippy Cup contacted the developers, Muse Games, and got the developers in on the process. He just reached out and said, hey, we're doing this thing. If you could give us any support or anything, tweet us out. Just basically trying to ask for anything and just get the developers informed on what we were doing. And Muse Games knocked it out of the park with what they did. They shot Sippy back an email yeah, we'd love to. We love, supporting our community. How would you guys like to try out an exclusive DLC that's, in private beta? And we're like, yeah, we'd like to try that out. That'd be awesome. So not only did they give us keys to this DLC to try for this event, they also actually hopped into Discord with us and spent the entire multi-stream in the day with us, which was just words are still failing me now to this day. I've had over a year to think about how to phrase it, and I just can't. It was a mind-blowing experience to be able to talk with people that have made a game that has made such an impact on your life. I've spent hours upon hours into Guns of Icarus and just having fun in that world. And to be able to talk to some of the people behind the game was just a surreal experience. So that's something that I'll also never forget, and another layer of interaction that I want to have more often in the future, being able to talk to developers of games that I like, and it's not even the exclusive content, it's just being able to talk to somebody that's made such an impact on my life. So that's something I hope to do in the future, but that was another huge moment for me. Those 3 moments are really, really big moments for me throughout streaming. They've definitely changed me. They've changed my attitude towards streaming, just shown me a glimpse of what could be if I kept at it. So, and it's huge motivating points for me to stream. Now, let's talk about where I've come before I stepped in front of the camera, before I started streaming whatsoever. I've always been sort of a shy, reserved person, never really wanted to talk to people, etc. I've always had Scotch. Okay, Scotch is putting it lightly. I've always had social anxiety, quite a bit of it, and my nightmare scenario forever has been public speaking. It always has been. Pretty sure it's always will be something that I dislike doing. But yeah, public speaking for me, when I had to do it prior to streaming, I would just, when I knew, like, it was usually a project or a presentation, something that you had to do. And I would know that my name's getting called up because, you memorize when your name gets called up in relative to other people. Okay, 5 people away, that's like 4 minutes per presentation. Okay, I've got it. And just doing all these mental calculations of when am I going to have to go up? When is it going to be my turn? And I just get this, like, pit in the bottom of my stomach of just anxiety of having to go up and do these presentations. And it was really hard. Whenever I'd get up, my legs would be shaking. I'd feel really, like, upset to my stomach, really uneasy. Just be shaking and tremoring as I'm trying to walk up in front of the class. And when I eventually get to speaking, I would stumble out my words. I'd just stutter endlessly just out of fear and anxiety and panic. And I've never given a good presentation prior to that. So what changed? I started streaming. And I started, like, especially after I put a face cam on, I really started streaming, like, consistently and doing it fairly often. And I obviously grew, everybody grows eventually. On Twitch, I grew when I had a small community. At this time, like, I think I was averaging 3 to 5 viewers. It was definitely sizable for me, and it was just like, it gave me a place to look back on whenever I had to go public speaking. I'm like, it allowed me to have the thought process of, you sit on your computer talking to 3 to 5 people every single day, acting like an idiot, like a moron, without any presentation whatsoever. This should be no different. Why should it be? It's more or less the same thing. And ever since I developed that mental thought process, public speaking got a lot easier. Now, don't get me wrong. I still don't like public speaking. I despise it still. But I've gotten to the point where I can put on sort of this cloak of confidence, and I can go up and give a coherent presentation. I don't stutter anymore. I've even gotten to the point where I crack a joke or two and, get the audience to laugh and whatnot. It's gotten to a point where I'm like, I'm still uncomfortable doing public speaking, but I'm confident enough to deliver a coherent presentation. And that's all, like, on account of streaming, I guarantee it. Just developing that skill set of talking to yourself, talking publicly, in front of people, having people talk back. It's helped me in that regard. So that's one thing that's come out of streaming. From before I would be a stuttering mess, and now I can give a presentation semi-coherently. So that's awesome. So these are just points of what happened to me before and after the fact of streaming. Now that we've sort of talked about, what's changed from the past and talked about some points that I really thought were impactful, why don't we delve into where I want to go from this point on? First off, as you may have noticed, in the past I've had issues with longer streams when I'm doing them solo. Like, if you watch any of my VODs, you'll probably notice, like, an hour and a half stream here, a 2-hour stream here. If it's a really good night, maybe a 6-hour stream. But streaming for me is still a very draining process when I have to do everything myself, as far as, like, when it's just me behind a camera. Don't get me wrong. I still love streaming. I still really love the experience, but it is a draining process to talk to yourself for 2 to 3 hours, just endlessly. But I wanna really start working on doing solo streams and building that endurance. You may have seen me play Dark Souls. That's the reason why I started playing Dark Souls. Well, a couple of reasons. A, I like Dark Souls. I like the premise of it, so I wanted to do that. B, a lot of my friends were playing Dark Souls, so I figured, why not? Now would be a good time to sort of hop onto Dark Souls and start with that. But 3, and this may have been the biggest motivating factor, is it gave me a game that I could consistently go back to and stream over and over and over again while playing by myself and being just by myself. It's a game that I'm using as a training tool to build my endurance and really get to the point where I can do longer and longer and longer streams without feeling that just exhaustion from doing it. But that's something that I want to work on for sure, is being able to do longer streams by myself. Every day I'm still improving. Obviously, like, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, hey, 3 hour stream today, 2 hour stream today. I'm not just gonna hit at some point where it's like, oh my god, I can do 8 hour streams every single day. This is awesome. No, it's gonna be a slow crawl, and I will eventually get to that point where I can do 8 hour streams without feeling tired whatsoever. But I want to put in the work to get to that point. So that's one of my goals for the future. Also, I just want to make the commentary more meaningful when I start streaming, or not even when I start streaming, just when I stream in general. You might notice that most of my commentary is just game-based commentary. What do I mean by that? Like, oh shit, there's an arrow coming for me. I gotta dodge, gotta dodge, gotta dodge. Oh no, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Let me dodge to the left, dodge to the right. It's stuff like that, where I just talk about what's going on in the game in that moment. And that's fine, that's all well and good. But I want the commentary to become more meaningful and more personal as the stream grows. Not entirely, like I still want to commentate on the game, obviously. But I want to get to a point where, like, it's just natural for me to have more deep and meaningful conversations. That's another goal of mine going into the future. Another thing that I really want to hammer home, and I said that I'd be talking about this a lot, and here I am, is interactivity. Interactivity is so important for me, just with live streaming and everything. Just having conversations with people, having multi-streams, things like that. It's so important for me, and that's one area where I want to work on. I want to improve my interactivity all across the board. Now, let me just explain my approach to interactivity. The way I see it, there are 3 layers of interactivity on Twitch. You have viewer to streamer layer. What that is the streamer talking to their viewers and their community, and the community talking back, and you have that conversation. Now, most of that takes place on Twitch chat for me currently. That's where the bulk majority of our conversations happen. That's fine. If Twitch chat's what you like, that's completely fine. But I would eventually like to not move the conversations away from Twitch chat, but have extra and additional conversations, either on Twitter or Discord, or I just want to utilize those tools that I have. I don't want it to be all on Twitch and have you guys to rely on when I go live to have a conversation with me. If you have something awesome they want to share from your day, feel free to post in my Discord or share it with me on Twitter. You made something really cool? Sure, share it with me. Like, I want to have that interaction, not just when I'm live on Twitch, if that makes sense. I'm not moving away from Twitch, and I just want to make sure that this is very clear. I'm not moving away from Twitch, nor am I trying to force you away from Twitch. I'm just I want to utilize other tools that are available for if you want to reach me while I'm not streaming. So that's sort of what I want to do. I want to improve my Twitter and Discord interaction with this streamer to viewer layer. So another layer that I want to touch on is what I call the streamer to streamer layer. Now what this is it's a layer that's streamer, as the name implies, streamers talking to other streamers. Now this could be in the form of doing like a collaborative multi-stream together where 2 people are, streaming the same game, having a fun time, talking to each other. Or it could be working on a project behind the scenes together that pertains to streaming. Maybe you have this idea that you want to work on with people and, get something done relating to streamer. Or you work on technical questions together. You try to improve each other's stream, give each other feedback, and help each other grow through that way. Those are all streamer to streamer layer interactions. Now, those are amazing. I really want to have more of those meaningful interactions. And I'm here to sort of, during this section, I'm going to tease 2 little projects that I have in the works. So now that you've seen this video, I don't know when I'm going to be working on these, but it'll definitely be in the near future. One thing that I definitely want to do is a Caster Die Gary's Mod event. That's something that's been talked about for, it's got to be months at this point. And I really want to organize this event and get people motivated and, just get a bunch of us together and, screw around on Gmod and have a fun time. I mean, that's Gmod's bread and butter right there. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. I expect that we'll get a sizable turnout for that since so many people have talked about it. But that'll be a fun day. I'll make sure to tweet about that prior, talk about it on stream, post on Discord, all the usual stuff. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That should be a very fun multi-stream. Another thing is another Caster Die related project. Another Caster Die related project that I want to work on, which is stream reviews. What's a stream review, you might ask? Now, what that basically is, as the name sounds, I'm basically going to be putting an offer out there to anybody that wants to accept Anchord of, hey, I'm willing to do stream reviews for you. What does this mean? What this means is I'm going to be offering to give people brutally honest feedback of what I think of their stream, what I think their weak points are, what I think their strong points are, and how they can improve it. And I'll be doing this live on my channel. Like, I will literally go to their stream, check out a few VODs, check out their chat interaction, and give a honest critique of what I think. One aspect, it allows the streamer who I'm reviewing to take my feedback, with a grain of salt and look at it and see, oh yeah, this, you're absolutely right, I think that I could work on this. Or it just gives them another person's view onto their stream and gives them feedback on how they might think to improve. And for me, it helps me critically look at somebody's stream and, like, dissect it, pick it apart. Now, this will, in turn, improve my skill at looking at content and seeing what I like, seeing what I don't like, and I'll be able to take that back to my own stream and improve my own stream via those methods. But it's mutually beneficial, as most streamer-to-streamer layer things are. They help everybody involved. So the final layer in this sort of three-layer model that I find is, like, the layers of interaction that you have, is there's also the streamer-to-developer layer. And in my opinion, this is the hardest layer for me to begin working on. What I mean by this is, remember that story that I told you about the Guns of Icarus event? I really enjoyed that event. I would love to be able to talk to more devs, do more things like that. I would love to talk with some devs, maybe just, like, do a talk show, do something, interview them about the game, just do something with developers. I haven't really decided what particular approach I want to take to this, but I definitely know that I want to do more things with developers of games that I like. So those are the three real big layers of interaction that you're going to find on Twitch, in my opinion, or any live streaming platform for that matter. And I want to work on making sure that all three of those get improved for me. That's my goal for the future, is to improve that interactivity. Whether it's on the streamer to viewer layer, the streamer to streamer layer, or the streamer to dev layer. I want to improve all of those across the board going into the future. For the streamer to viewer layer, I want to use Twitter more, I want to use Discord more, I want to really utilize those tools so that you all feel like you can reach me outside of my stream, and it doesn't have to be limited to Twitch chat or when I'm live or anything like that. Another thing with the streamer to streamer layer, I already told you about the projects. The Gmod collaborative stream, that's going to be a lot of fun. The stream reviews thing, all those are ways that I want to improve my streamer to streamer layer interaction. And streamer to dev layer, that I've got to work on. I don't know exactly what approach or execution I want to take on that just yet. I just know that I want to have more interactions with developers that I care about. So, hopefully going into the future, you'll see massive improvements across the board on all three of those layers. Now, as you can see, this video has been dragging on for quite a while. But I feel that it's necessary. I want to make sure that everything that I want to say is expressed clearly in a consumable format. So if you're still here watching, I greatly appreciate it. And I hope that you're looking forward to the future as I am. Now that we're sort of getting to a conclusion point, I want to tease a few more things that I have in the works. As some of you that have been around my Discord, Twitter, or my stream for a while might have remembered a straw poll that I put out a while ago. You might have seen it a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember exactly how long it is, but it was a straw poll asking what horror games are good horror games. And I put it out to all of you, and I got your feedback, and the winner of that poll was Dead Space. So during the Steam Summer Sale, I took your guys' advice. You guys said that Dead Space was a good horror game. So I went and bought Dead Space 1 and 2 during the Summer Sale because of you guys. This is an example of how I want that interactivity to evolve. I want to be able to do these polls, do these things, get your guys' feedback and opinions on things. And as you can see, it will make an impact on me as a person. So I bought these games, Dead Space 1 and 2, and I will be streaming them as a direct result of all of you. Now, along with Dead Space 1 and 2, there may be some other games thrown in there that are horror related, or, so you might see a few other games that for me to torment myself with, or others. Stay tuned for that. I don't know the exact specifics. I need to talk with some people to see what they want to do. But yeah, that should be a lot of fun. So another piece of big news, besides the horror thing, is now that we've hit 200 followers, I'm going to be accepting my affiliation invitation. I've had this invitation for about a month now, I want to say. I got it about a week after Affiliation launched on Twitch. I've just been holding on to it for this milestone in particular. So you may notice that I have the affiliate perks when you come back to Twitch from this video being launched. And I would just want to extend a sincere thank you to all of you for getting me to this point. Affiliation's a really cool program, and I hope that you all enjoy the benefits that I can offer. And I just wanted to extend a very sincere thank you for enabling me to have these amazing benefits and perks. I do greatly appreciate it, and I hope that you guys enjoy what you get out of it as well. So there is one final project that I want to bring up that I intend on doing more often, or starting, period, and then hopefully continuing if you guys end up liking it, is, again, going back to that streamer to viewer layer of interaction. I want to have more of that. I really do. I crave it. It's the whole point why I do Twitch. I tried doing YouTube for a while and realized I don't care about views. I don't care about upvotes or downvotes. All I care about are the comments. I like having people to interact with. So another thing that I'm going to be doing, starting effective immediately after this, is a post on either Twitter or Discord that says, here, give me suggestions for essay prompts. You can write whatever you want, and if it's appropriate, I will respond to it with an essay. If you don't know this about me, I thoroughly enjoy writing, especially about topics that intrigue me. So you just post, I don't know, it could be, tell me the best day that you've ever had, or what's a very strong memory that you have. It could be anything, any type of post they want to know, any type of topic they want to hear my opinion on, want to know me better with. It could be literally anything that you want. I'll be posting those on Twitter and Discord, and I'll take your suggestions for them, and if they're appropriate, I will write an essay to them and post them later on Twitter and Discord, respectively. But yeah, I love writing, and I feel like this could be a very fun way for you guys to get to know a little bit more about me, ask questions, and this gives me a way to express myself in the format that I'm most comfortable with. As you've probably noticed by the timestamp of this video, I'm quite long-winded, and speaking this way isn't my most eloquent way of delivering content. You'll notice in my writing I'm much more well-written than I am well-spoken, so I hope that you all enjoy that. But yeah, I'll be doing that on either weekly, monthly, maybe bi-weekly basis, for you all to just give me prompts, and I'll respond to them, and it should be a fun way for you guys to get to know me, and I hope that you like it, because I know that I'll like this. But final little teaser for this video. Stay tuned on Hypothetical Hour this coming week. There should be a surprise there if I've done everything accordingly. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Now that I've ended on a cliffhanger, because who doesn't love cliffhangers, I want to extend my sincerest thank you to everybody who has helped support me. I can't express enough gratitude. This milestone is huge for me, and it's with your guys' help that I was able to get here. So a sincere thank you for everything. Now, I hope that you all have a fantastic morning, evening, or night, whatever time it is where you all are, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.